Alright, just give us a moment while I switch the windows because we need both of us there. There we go. Alright, so hi everybody, this is CVGS. I'm the Captain here, and welcome to our discussion stream here for May 19th. Ooh, May 19th. Holy hell. Yeah, so it's
We're halfway through 2021 and shit doesn't look like it's coming down anytime soon.
Yep, because in case you guys aren't aware, here in Singapore we actually got hit, not say a lockdown, but it's more of like a winding back on like social gatherings. So for us here, it's like only 2 people max, so and then you can't eat out, you actually have to buy away, take away, so to speak.
And buy
away. So,
bro.
I don't know what I can do for the terms, man, but yeah, essentially, yeah. So hey Draco, how's it going? Welcome.
Right?
Alright. So, yes, hi Rain, good to see you. Yeah, so yes, so this is the discussion stream. So let's start off as always because we need to go through all the news. For those that weren't there on the Tuesday's live stream, we definitely need to go through all the news that we're going. Hey, Agus is in the chat. What's up?
It just what's up?
So we definitely gotta get your opinion because of the news that we got this week. So, but let's get straight into it first. So let me just bring up the big screen and also adjust these windows. All right, there we go. All right. So let's get straight into the news right now. So we got a bit more information in terms of the DB202 since it's the next upcoming set coming out for Vanguard right now. So yeah, we'll clear through the Tokyo Rambu stuff. Essentially, yeah, we just jump straight into the news from that set itself, which is actually a couple of Zorga cards. And this is actually the double R and the triple R for the set, which is quite interesting to see. We already got some of the other cards for Zorga and they look pretty good. But let's take a look into what this one has. So there's a new order card, the double R. Pay counter +1, so +1. Choose any rear guard and retire it. And after that, you choose a card from your drop zone with the same grade as the unit that you retired and call it to rear guard circle. If this is part of Alchemy Magic, you call 2 instead of 1 card instead. So actually, for this being a great trade, this is actually a really good card, and it actually is something that can be at the start and at the end of any Alchemy Magic that you're actually doing actually, because this one is not, you can kind of use this offensively as a removal, but you can also use it as a way to kind of reinforce your sides. So Leon, after a day to sleep on this, what do you think?
I think it's a pretty good card, generally speaking, because it can be used for you to set off certain things that you want to clear a board to bring out stuff. You can sack it off instead of calling over, or you can use it to move your opponent's stuff in some regards. So let's say if you, it has an alternative. It doesn't force you to retire strictly from your opponent. If your opponent has a full board of say resist units, you know, and then it has an alternative play. So which is good.
Yeah, which is good. So I like the fact that this one feels like it's a card, right, that can really, as mentioned, can go at the start and at the end. Because it's something that Zorga really needs. It needs actually specific cards, right, that actually can activate from either these, that activate at the start and at the end. Because those would make Zorga a lot more viable and a lot more picked up as well. So certain background music. Sorry about that. I'm actually adjusting the volume because I noted in our Tuesday's live stream it's a little bit on the soft side. So I'm actually just trying to adjust it. Please do let me know if the volume is way too loud or if it's just right. I am very like highly alert when it comes to audio levels, so please do let me know if those levels are actually way too much or way too little. So yeah,
it's over 9,000 you had to say.
Yes,
on screen.
Yes, please do. All right, and then after that we actually got the grade 3 over here. So two skills. If continuous skill is if this unit is if an order was played this turn, this unit gets plus 5k. So it's a 13k power base. And then after that, when this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, if you were to play an order card for Alchemy Magic this turn, the next time you were to play an order card for Alchemy Magic this turn, you reduce that cost by counterblast 1. And they added the small thing at the back is that if the counter charge goes to negative, you don't counter charge. So that's an important detail they need to put in, because people will think that this is going to be very abusable, and that's a way for them to actually get counter charge back. So yeah.
Hey Brain, what's up? Guys just had our dinner. Oh yep.
Nice.
I just had my dinner as well.
Nice.
Glad you had yours.
Yeah, I had dinner some time ago, but what did you have for dinner? I'm also asking you, Leon. Noodles.
Noobs.
Noobs. You eat noobs for dinner?
I had a assortment of things. I have like Hokkien mee, like Hokkien noodles. What we call it in Singapore. I had some carrot cakes as well. No, not the bakery kind of carrot cakes.
No,
mind
not
you.
the bakery kind of cakes. It's more of like it's a vegetable, right? Or the
No, it is a carrot.
a carrot
It's like
base.
carrot based paste, and then they mold it, and then after they fried it. So essentially, it's kind of like that. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we should do a food vlog one of these days, and all the virus gets out.
Yeah, because I'm actually a bit of a foodie myself, so I actually like to describe food, and I actually like to experience food as well. Flavor is king in my mouth.
Well, moving on, just like this card here, it's quite flavorful indeed.
Yes, so moving on, yeah. So this card is actually a flavorful card. We forgot to talk about this. Yeah, so this card is actually really good. Me personally speaking, right, this actually is really good because I've always mentioned that Zorga always had a very expensive cost, and having more units that allows them to reduce the costs was actually really it's actually something that Zorga could use, and thankfully it comes to do this, and it's controlled enough whereby you need to be a bit more tactical about how you're gonna churn your way out in order to get these free costs. So even though you have access to Zorga, but you also can't be frivol about using your orders just to get this card out, because you can only use an order once per turn. So yeah, I mean, reducing the cost for the counterblast would be very helpful in the regard, because I think there's a lot of things that uses a lot of counterblast. So reducing it by one, for that particular turn would actually be really useful.
That is true. It has a bit of flexibility to it, even though it does say that you need to call it out first before you can reduce the cost of the next Alchemy Magic order card that you play. So that there's a bit of control, which is good.
Yep.
And still it opens options.
Absolutely. Yeah, so this is actually a really good triple R, and definitely a worthwhile boost for Zorga. Hopefully we'll see more boost for the other right lines as well, especially for Zorga. But as we go into the topic of the right lines, we'll get to these ones in a little bit. These are actually the promo cards for the month of June. We'll talk to them a little bit further. But yeah. By the way, I think all the Tokyo Rumble cards have been revealed. Well, technically speaking, the trial deck and the booster set is actually releasing this week. Saturday actually. This Saturday. So they're actually releasing it this Saturday for Tokyo Rumble. So all the cards needs to be released. Everybody needs to know what's in the set so they can start pre-planning their builds for Tokyo Rumble, whether if it's in D or whether if it's for premium. So yeah, all the cards are actually out already, Brain. He also had chicken since he's celebrating their Barangay festival. I hope I said that correctly. But he said that the pandemic we had no guests. So I know how you feel. Because I think for yourself, Leon, Chinese New Year you did have a few visitors, right?
Yeah, which is still more or less at the time it was still not so bad. It was more or less clear out, so we had a bit of visitors. But now I think things just kind of gone south.
Yeah, I think it's gone south. So because for Hari Raya, right, we only had like literally 2 days of Hari Raya where we could allow 5 people in the house. Now we can only just allow 2 people in the house. So yeah, for us also, we feel your pain in terms of having no guests. Because also outside, like, it's supposed to be a celebratory holiday, and we're supposed to visit family, friends, ask forgiveness, hope for a better year going forward tomorrow, all that stuff similar. but nobody's able to do that because the pandemic has literally seemed to have taken 2 years of our festive lives, to say the least.
No choice.
No
We
choice.
do what we must.
Hi Andrew, yes you are here. And Brain says I use the card database app Barage. Okay, I did say it right the first time. So, okay, so yeah, there's something that I gotta get off my chest because after a day of thinking about it, right, I suddenly find myself a little bit frustrated.
At what?
At encounter cards. Because it's mainly because of the fact, right, that encounter cards, the more I try to think of it and the more that I try to decipher what we could see in the future.
Barangay. Oh, Barangay.
Yeah, that's Baran, not gay, so Barangay.
Barangay.
Guy, okay, so yeah, so it's like GUI kind of pronunciation. Okay. Got it, brain. Right. So yeah, I was saying, the more I try to decipher and think about more about these encounter cards, right, the more I feel frustrated, but only because of the lack of information that we have. There was a reason why I went back. There's a reason why I went back to to our Twitch live stream yesterday, and also compound with other stuff that I found earlier today. So as I was doing research for the discussion stream here today, there's really not a lot of information that's going out there about these encounter cards, and I honestly, there's a little bit of anxiety in me in terms of like what can we expect from this going to DBT02.
If you ask me, I feel that just take it as you will with these cards, because honestly speaking, right, so far Overdress has not really had anything too over the top so far, with the exception of certain things, but it's not that bad. And yet, the encounter card just felt like it's just there for nostalgia bit. If anything, most people are complaining that it's already a nostalgia bait, like second set into the whole game.
Correct.
Already, they're nostalgia baiting you already as it is, and I felt that the encounter card should not have been in DPTO2, if anything, because it felt like encounter cards should be generally their own, like a kind of like your festival pack instead. It should have been its own thing, and then you can at least have a once a year release of encounter cards for said clans, and then relates it to its lore, because they already say it's supposed to be lore inclusive.
Yeah.
But now that you are putting it out there, and then what, you're gonna wait a whole year before you release things about Blaster Blade?
Yeah, because with the information that I got, so I'll jump ahead a little bit. With the information I got, right, they are releasing this once per year, and for now they are giving it to Dragon Empire and to Catan Sanctuary. But this is purely tied into the lore that they're building in the website, the story website actually, and everything that happens within that story, right, is actually what I predicted yesterday was actually a little bit correct. Because it seems that they might be building the story for at this point in time, or maybe towards the year, and then when it gets closer to the next year, when we will probably see these encounter cards again, they're actually going to be building new stories, and so the other units actually might come up as encounter cards as well. So
yes, but my concern is, again, it stands still. As to if this is the case, means that if next set they have to release Blaster Blade, and that means Keta will get another set of encounter cards, and then of course it's technically Royal Paladin, all right, okay, but it's still a Keta card essentially, and then the next thing beside it will probably be Chrono Jet Dragon. So again, my problem with it, the whole encounter card issue, is that it's not, even though it's building a story over the course of 1 year, and that's how long it's gonna take, and then there's a lot of characters essentially involved in the storyline.
Yep.
And because these are characters from during the Gizi timeline, so we are explaining things like Mao as well, Luat, that we're also expecting Glorious Glucose. Yes. All these things, and they're like once a year. That means this whole thing will already expand up to 5 years for them to at least complete the base story of the relating characters.
Yeah.
Just relating characters.
I think this is more of a complaint on the pace of the lore, and just really like kind of like us like complaining about how the lore is actually kind of affecting the boosts that we are getting here in DBTO2. It's in a sense, it does feel a little bit like our old complaints about the anime influencing just what comes out in the booster set. Back with G actually. Speaking of that.
That is correct. And plus, you definitely will consistently see Bruce, Bastion, Nirvana, Orpheus, as well as Sarah Snow. At least Sarah Snow, I mean.
Yep.
And Magnolia getting consistent boost because they are essentially the main character stuff. They are the main character stuff. And these are things that are going to keep getting boosted, despite them saying things is going to stick around. You know? Their secondary right line is the things that won't stick around. And that's a problem. And that's actually a problem. So now that we have encounter cards getting thrown into the mix, and it's not even fair, as AG's just pointed out, not fair to specific nations. Because some clans wouldn't get this thing, and some clans get to do their nonsense when they can't piece it together, you know? In case in point, Keta.
You did point out yesterday that the reason, a part of a reason why Keta Century and Dragon Empire are getting these encounter cards right is because of the fact that their stuff is the boost for the nation as a general is generic enough that you can actually formulate a deck with these two right lines and still use those cards. So even if they get nothing, which is not likely going to happen, even if they get nothing in the DBT02 in terms of boost, they can still use the rest of the Overdress, Dragon Empire, and the Keta Century stuff to build something and make a deck worthwhile still.
That's definitely a thing. But again, it says the encounter cards felt like it's released too soon into the set. It's like they're already baiting you straight in by having we have Dragoning Overlord. Again, we have Feminine vs Dragon Overlord again. And I am as I am a big fan of Dragoning Overlord, as everybody know on this channel by now. Even I am not super keen to see it back so soon. Because my deck has always been Dragoning Overlord over and over and over and over, and now it's gonna be again in less than the span of half a year.
If they somehow mess it up they make Dragoning Overlord not end up being the more viable builds out there for Dragon Empire. So.
And based on experience, it wouldn't be a surprise because the Vana already it's a very a fix to Valrina set play. It's a fix. It cannot go anywhere. The problem about the Vana is that it cannot go anywhere because of how the cards is generally designed. But Overlord is gonna be the next thing that is chances are that it's gonna be the next thing that is gonna be the most viable grade 3 write-up as to what is to come. And this thing can play very well in premium as well because of you can do your cross rides, you can do your standard V premium stuff, you can do your other nonsense because his name is Dragonic Overlord. He essentially can be easily replaced into a new deck, and you can still play 4 copies of it and still run rampant essentially.
And that's
but that also depending on what they do with the skill.
Correct. That's also just one side of the coin. We haven't even mentioned like how Phantom Blaster Dragon, Blaster Dark, and so on and so forth will actually impact V Premium and Premium actually. So because of the fact that there are so many cards in V Premium right now that actually plays off of Blaster Dark, that if this new Blaster Dark comes in and it's considerably good enough that you would consider this over the V Series 1 rank, you essentially have a great replacement and something that could act as a bit more viable compared to say using the older blaster decks from before.
And that has been proven time and time again whenever they have a reboot or they have a reprint or they didn't have a reprint rather, very rarely. More like when they rebooted the skill, it was essentially the better version of both cards, and I won't be surprised that even though the upcoming one is just gonna be a rare, it's probably gonna do just as good or it does better. There is alternative play in premium, but in standard wise, it's just gonna be another more prominent right line at the way that we are looking at things. Because these are cards that's gonna be showing up only once a year, and these are cards that won't get another power up again.
In fact, so that means not getting you're correct.
Yeah. And these things they had to make it worthwhile. These are things they had to make it worthwhile. They cannot afford to print anything else to support these cards because that would just be breaking the promise of what they said about encounter cards being a once per year thing,
Correct.
and then suddenly they're boosting for Dragoning Overlord. That makes no sense.
Yep. Indeed. Also. Yeah lah. So that's just our tangent really about encounter cards right now, because that's where really the source of frustration. We do not know enough that we can make a solid judgment as to whether these things are good, and we are on the camp that this might not end up being good. So, but as I found out from thanks to Different Fight actually, because Different Fight his live stream he actually was translating the Q&A from Mori-san that we're doing at the end, which we weren't able to do. So I went back and I actually managed to get some keynotes from here. So before that, apologies to everybody, because we had to get that thing off of our chest, because that was really kind of like the big weight on our shoulder right now. So Andrew is here. So what I missed, I was messing around with a hammer, with ram skills, a silk bind boost, that wire bug attacks, and with max wire bug whisperer. So he's playing around with the hammer right now, and he's doing a lot of stuff with the wire bug, which I haven't really got around to playing around. So I'm just comfortable with the way that the hammer plays. So, and Andrew's also finding that out as well. Brain says, I think DO and Phantom Blaster Dragon will be new right lines, since we already have Blaster and Blaster Dart in Harlem as G2s. Yes, it's kind of been hinted at. It's kind of strongly confirmed that they are new right lines, and I think during the live stream also, producer Mori also did say that they are actually right lines. He called them right lines. So that's kind of like a confirmation that Phantom Blaster Dragon and Blaster Dart are actually getting right lines as well. So Brain says, I think to show more cards, I watched W/'s videos. Yeah, we also watched W/'s video as well. So, and we love the way that he delivers it. So, and sometimes I reference him when I try to do our own recap videos to try and make things as snappy as possible. Also includes kind of like the way that I do jokes. So yeah, we've seen his video. So yeah, it gets not fair to specific nations. I will talk about that in just a little bit. So Rain says, I feel like encounter cards are too soon to be released as cards. In a way, I also feel that as well. So it's similar to Leon. I do kind of feel like they introduced way too early. I feel like they do need to kind of like flesh out the lore even more and make people kind of like interested in seeing, like, go on there. And I'd rather it not be Draconic Overlord. I'd rather be the elderly Draconic Overlord, the ash white Draconic Overlord, instead of this. Since he's still alive 3,000 years, so why can't he be a unit there? That's just
they probably can support in future sets, since they probably aren't reprinting the other right lines either. Yeah, funny enough, I had a feeling at some point they're gonna reprint all the encounter cards in one booster pack.
Yeah, there might be a reprint, hence the year that they are printing it. So maybe 2022, maybe not 2022. It might be a bit too soon for him, but probably like late 2022, once they have another set of encounter cards, or if they have taken the feedback from everybody about encounter cards and figure something out as they go forward into the future sets, maybe you might see it also. But that remains to be seen, of course. Yeah, so Luke is here. Hello, Luke. Sorry I'm late. I was just doing some work experience this morning. Now I'm here. No problem, Luke. Thank you for joining the stream. Andrew says, right lines are the old right chains given new life. Yes, to a certain extent it was for Draconic Overlord, but it's definitely true for Phantom Blaster Dragon, because Phantom Blaster Dragon did have the right chain before. Ege says, what I'm afraid is Grade 2 Blaster Dart got skill. When PPO rides on top, they may create disaster in the premium. That's my fear too, actually. That's exactly.
And that is exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm referring to, because these are things that will play a huge impact in premium. And these are things you definitely want to play 4 copies of, and you are already M. Essentially, you already M. And the thing, and I need to check Blaster Javelin's skill again. The old Blaster Javelin of Fubao. Fubao doesn't have a skill, right?
No, Fubao has a skill. When rolled upon by Javelin, you search your deck for one Blaster Dart added to your hand.
Is it Fubao, or was that
Fubao? Because Javelin is when you ride over when rolled upon by Blaster Dart, you search your deck for Phantom Blaster Dragon and add to your hand. Hello Vimeru, hello. Welcome.
Urubao. Let's see now. It's original.
Yeah,
correct. So if you have the original Urubao,
wrong Vanguard. Sorry. There's a Vanguard.fandom.com and it goes to a different game called Vanguard Saga of Heroes.
Well, technically it is. So
Vanguard we're looking for.
So if you play this stupid Fubao,
So if you play this stupid with then you ride over Blaster Javelin over this unit in premium, of course. You can search that for the proper Blaster Dart. You technically have your right line. You technically
Exactly.
have your right line.
Exactly. This is the
Grade 0 search Blaster Dark, then Grade 1 searches PBO as Regard. Yeah, correct. Correct.
But it remains to be seen what the Javelin's gonna look for. But it will set off a chain of event because that means you're guaranteed your grade 2 ride up if you already ride into Javelin. And if Javelin has a skill that lets you search for when you ride Blaster Dark, you are guaranteed to search for Phantom Blaster Dragon, and you have the option to search for both the premium and the V premium and the break right variant.
Yep.
And this guy.
Yep. So, there's many ways to go about this also. Vimero says that I don't think they will go Unga Bunga with Overlord and PBD that will cause premium to break. They clearly know that premium is in a bad state, and I don't think they will make it bonkers also. Yes, that's something that I will get to as well. So because they're all covered under the Q&A that producer Mori did on the live stream yesterday. So I'll get to those notes very, very soon. PBD, Overdress, MV Series, PBO will be OP. Let their powers combine. So let's just see if they figure out a way to actually take it down a notch from here. So John says, did you forget Bendy and Hood Dragon? No, I did not forget about Bendy Hood Dragon. In fact, Bendy was the main reason why I bring up how bringing them in as a counter cards actually affect premium, how they will impact premium also. It's because of cards like Bendy and Hood Dragon as well. Because they are Bendy checks if your Vanguard is Blaster Dart, you can actually directly ride into Blaster Blade. So Premium actually has a pseudo right line, has a right deck, pseudo right deck.
Wait, hold on. Oh, Bandicoot Dragon who?
Okay, hold on. Okay, Freezing Revenger, Freezing Witch Bendy. Freezing Witch Bendy skill.
Yeah, the one that lets you superior right?
Yeah, the one that lets you superior right to
Phantom. Yeah, you see there's nonsense like that. There is nonsense.
Yeah, I forgot what the Hood Dragon name is called, or Damp Hood Dragon. Damp Hood Dragon skill is so Blaster retire this card, search your deck for one Blaster Blade, reveal it and put it to your hand and shuffle your deck. So you can directly search out your Blaster Blades from there. You can filter from there. So that's what makes these new cards a bit dangerous in premium.
But the problem turns into what you're after, AGs, if you ask me. But you rather use the Witch combo for the speed right through. Right though. It depends on what you're after. I think at the end of the day, that in the nice way is that you have different variations of Phantom Blaster Dragon right chain. Or right line in this case. You have a variant, which will be fun to see.
It will be fun to see, but I think it will be like a bomb for the opponent, trying to decipher which combination of Phantom Blaster Dragons and Darks and Evolords that they're actually gonna try and put into.
Fun fact, I have all the Phantom Blaster right lines. I have all of them.
Yeah, we have them as well.
From the first set until now.
Vimero says, talking about premium, I really doubt that these counter cards will be worse than Hyuga, Fenrir Loop, and every Zazan deck also. I am confident in that, and that's because of the Q&A also, which I will get to very soon. John says, superior ride PBO early and ride the next turn for Persona Ride, then strike. Yeah, pretty much also. Luke says, I remember using V-Series Blaster Javelin with original series full bow to search for Blaster Dark. I used to mix it up with V-Series and the original series Blaster Dark. So, the good old days. Yeah, remember those good old days when it was a bit more
there was a lot of things you can get around with it, essentially. And with the encounter cards coming into play with exactly the same right line as right chain in this case, is going to means you are definitely open to more options and more alternatives. Heck, it doesn't even specify which Blaster Dark you need to ride. It can be the V version where you get an additional drive check if you want to be more aggressive at the early game, or do you want to use this version where it chances are will let you do a search also probably blow something up. So it depends on, do you want an additional drive check or do you want to do a more aggressive play? But yet to be seen as to what the D version of Phantom Blaster of the Blaster Sound will do.
Indeed. So, alright, so let's get straight into the Q&A right now, because I've been putting off long enough as it is. Now, in terms of the encounter cards, right, what Mori-san said there is that these encounter cards were actually introduced this early to set up that these lore cards are actually going to be a thing going forward into Vanguard Overdress, so that we can kind of see past or future units that came from Vanguard's past. In fact, right, one thing that was brought up was that as normal units, even not just encounter cards, strides are actually the one that you're trying to listen into yesterday. Strides actually could appear as normal units and right lines in the Overdress era, because year-wise is 3,000 years far into the future. But one thing that we never asked ourselves is, from where these strides come from, the time period where these strides come from, when is that future? So
Yeah, when is that future?
when is that future? So there is a good chance, right, that we will be seeing like cards that were once strides, cards that are actually strides, maybe like Chronos Command. A good example would be Chronos Command. You might actually see Chronos Command in Dark States, and he could be a right line. You know, he could actually be his own right line from there, because that's the Chronos Command, as you know, and maybe they will have the same skills going forward from there. But the idea is that, right, these encounter cards were to set up these laws from here, and there are going to be units that we've seen before in Vanguard's past making an appearance, strikes specifically, making an appearance in Overdress as normal units that you can actually put into your deck. So yeah.
Okay, you guys give me a moment. I just need to use the washroom. I'll be right back.
Can, no problem. So, one thing that I also want to point out is that, right, I'll repeat to you, Leon, when it's come back, is that they are actually paying attention to all of the feedback, good and bad, in terms of these encounter cards. So, he highly encourages all players, keyword, all players, to actually write into them and give your feedback on what you think about these encounter cards. But please, because this was pointed at the start, please be civil and please be nice, because there have been people in the English community that has been messaging Moisan and they have been using very rude English words. I don't think you guys are, because I think you guys are absolutely chill, but put it out there and help police each other. Like, make sure that if we do send these feedback, right, if we do send this feedback to them, make sure that it's in a constructive it is a constructive way. They want to know what they can do better in order to make these encounter cards better, or you know, like what you think about them, because if they are if they're just gonna keep getting rude comments from us, right, they might completely like stop listening to us and just listen to the one that matters, and then, you know, we are forced to accept what is decided by them. And the thing about Overdress and what's made it good thus far is that they're actually trying to open communications, and they're trying to make sure that the staff themselves, right, actually listen to us as a player base, to understand and to communicate what their plans are going forward, and to understand what we feel about their plans going forward. So it is highly encouraged that if you can voice your opinions wherever you can, in terms of what you feel about encounter cards, what you feel about Overdress going forward thus far. Let them know they are listening, they are reading, they are watching, and you know, they are taking all these feedbacks also. But please, as a content creator, and you know, as a content creator for you guys here on Twitch, I have to do my part in telling you guys to please be civil and please be respectful, right? Let your comments be heard, let your voices, let your opinions be heard, but do it in a civil and constructive way. We are a community after all. So, right, I think the boost of these cards are V-Series and old cards. So yeah, Morisan said strides are from the future, you might see them as normal units. So yeah, of course, strides should be in premium only. Yeah, I'm not saying that they'll come in as strides, but they will make an appearance as normal units. So it's units that they'll be probably grade 3s or grade 2s or even from there. But we see these future units actually in coming up from there. So I will fall in love if Chronos Command is the right line. So I think that might be likely, but don't take my word for it, of course. That's just an example that I use. Whatever their plans are, which apparently I think I heard somewhere that their Vanguard Overdress is a 10-year plan right now. So they actually are making sure that every step of the way they are taking the right steps as they go along throughout these 10 years. Vimero says that but Gears have lost their power to time leap. Gears have lost their power to time leap, but that doesn't mean that the units themselves do not exist. They exist in the future, and this is 3,000 years in the future. So if they do exist in this point in time, they are themselves. They are not a strike. They don't have strike powers. So they're not time leaping. They basically are existing. They exist. Literally is exist becomes the right line. That's what I'm pointing out right there. So W-Slasher is also from the Philippines, by the way, in case you don't know. Oh, I did not know that he was actually from the Philippines. I've actually never heard his voice, like his real voice, because I've always known him as the robotic voice that he's most popularly known for. So I never knew where W-Slasher is from. But W-Slasher has been one of our best fans, and one of our more popular fans as well, outside Chris. Different fight as well. So yeah, he's somebody that we've known for quite a long time, and we love the work that he does. So W-Slasher is one of the best. Right, Chronos Command comes from a future where Gears still travel to time in Overdress, so they don't. But I still want a gear right line ahead, but them being support cards. Well, you can expect something that's a bit more on the Gear Chronicle play style up to a certain extent. But you know, maybe not Chronos Command himself. Maybe it might be some derivative. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities that we can expect from that. Are you guys sending your feedback to Mori Producer? If we feel that something is off, we do feel frustrated at the moment right now. But we do understand where producer Mori's position is, so we're not sending in our opinions to him just yet, because there's a lot of things that he wants to say, but he can't because it's considered a spoiler. So we'll write it out. We'll see what he has to present and what he says going forward as well. We'll pay attention to what he says, and you know, we'll just make sure that we become his best constructive critics out there, so that he understands that, you know, coming from us here at CVGS, he knows that what we say will have a bit of weight on it, and you know, alongside with many others that actually share the same opinion, it might be something that he will take into consideration as well. So yeah, I haven't messaged them, busy in MHR. Of course you are, Andrew. Every time that we see you on these streams, it seems like you're doing nothing but playing Monster Hunter Rise, my man. So
Yes.
but keep at it. So alright, Leon, now that you're back, I mentioned that you know, the encounter cards were introduced this early to set up these lore cards actually happening. And yeah, hold on. So that you know, then so we'll be seeing these past or maybe even future cards from Vanguard's past appearing as normal units or encounter cards as well. The thing is, right, they are Mori-san said that he's actually taking all feedbacks, both good and bad, in terms of what players feel with the encounter cards. So, and you know, they actually want to make sure that there's open communication between the development team and us, similar to how MMORPGs and like mobile games have been doing recently. So yeah, so whatever we say, whatever criticisms that we have, right, we can send it to him, and they will actually be paying attention and listening as well. They're taking all the feedback. And one of the downsides of that open communication is that apparently a lot of people in the English community have been sending very rude comments. So I'm just advising,
right?
yeah, but I'm just advising everybody here and anybody that hears this past this live stream actually, if you hear my words, please be civil and please be nice, because we are part of the community, and let them know that, and let's be civil and let's all work together, because with them actually having this open communication, right, it gives us the opportunity to grow this game together into the game that we all can love and enjoy together as one. So
That is correct.
yeah, in Vanguard, this is unprecedented. Nothing like this has ever happened before. So it's important that we take this opportunity to make sure that we put our best foot forward, and you know, make sure that this open communication becomes a very successful thing, because it's what they need. So yeah.
All right.
Great. Yep. So Vimer says I'll probably send something, probably in the lines of "Come to Brazil, please." Yeah. Let them know if you want to see some releases in your country. Please let them know. So because they are taking all feedbacks, not just for these encounter cards, but all feedback as well. So John says I hope when Chronojet comes back, his support is Zodiac Time Beast related, and so it's actually usable in premium, because V standard support is just booty for premium. Depends on the state of Zodiac Time Beast at this time in premium right now. So. Give or take, we have to see what happens from there. Chronojet is gone, if I remember correctly, disappeared with Gize. Yes, Chronojet is actually, lore-wise, is actually gone with Gize. So you probably will see Chronojet as an encounter card for Dark States at some point. John says, I know, but I can dream. Yes, but keep dreaming, so it might actually happen. Vimer says, I want another Gear Chronicle Dragon. Kind of getting tired of Chronojet. I kind of want Chronofang, if you ask me. I just want Chronofang. Luke says, now I'm beginning to wonder, since PvD and Dragon Overlord are getting encounter cards and so is Blaster Dark, will Blaster Bay get one? I doubt it, but you never know. With him being one of the big three, chances are he will, but I think we will not see him for a long while still. So his right line will probably be straight up to Alfred, and so we probably won't see that right line for a very long time, because Keta is getting these encounter cards. As Leon pointed out, it seems not fair, because a lot of the more prominent units actually come from either Dark States or from Keta Sanctuary. So a lot of these encounter cards are actually going to be get there, and as I just pointed out, so it seems a bit unfair to other nations, because other nations never had the opportunity to shine.
Not to mention, as pointed out, I just remembered we are not forgetting Gold Paladin as well, like Blonde Azo.
Yep.
We have Blonde Azo, who was also a goddamn Keta Sanctuary. You can finally play a deck with Blaster Blade, Blaster Dark, Azo. Bang, you know. And then Dark State we had Chronojet and friends. Yeah, Chronojet and friends, and then then we have Draconic Overlord.
Yeah.
The clan.
Indeed.
No, it's gonna be Draconic Overlord the nation.
Might as well.
Because
be, right?
everything that involves with Dragon Empire is Overlord.
Uh-huh.
Everything else is actually not important after that. Yeah, okay, and Mess is Vermilion. And Descendant.
Mm.
That's as far as I can go.
Uh-huh.
Lost Legend. Yeah, he's now a Lost Legend now.
Yeah, Lost Legend. So. If next year the law talks about Blaster Blade, then he will get an encounter card. So there's a chance that might be the case. Ever since the pandemic happened, I've never related to Scar from the Lion King so much. Oh, he's talking about Chronofang Tiger. So, Your Lost Legend should be the new right line. His art is so nice. I like Lost Legend's art specifically, yes. But I don't think he will come up also because he technically appeared in the V series. So I'm not sure if he's actually gonna make an appearance in Overdress also. Chronofang, I tried to get his V deck, but it's just too expensive, so I went with Nobutamon instead. Maybe I'll try later. I don't know. I really love his art. So Chronofang is fun. So, and I have personal memories with Chronofang myself. So I've told this story before. So yeah, hopefully what we see going forward from there will be the case. So, and in fact, actually, let's talk more about the what we'll be seeing from them. So. It was asked of us, Leon, that will we be sending our feedback to Mori-san ourselves? I told him that chances are it might not be the case because we want to see how this rides out. And a lot of people have actually asked about questions like will Draconic Overlord and Phantom Blaster Dragon will be supported, but he said that those are considered spoilers at this time, so he cannot actually reveal. So because he said that there's spoilers, right? So we're gonna have to wait and see what those are first before we can actually make a judgment call. That's why I said, the lack of information is kind of driving me insane at least. So because I do not know enough and I need to know more. This, I don't need sleep. I need answers.
Yeah. To me, right? To me at this moment, whether they get their own set of support in the DPTO2 is almost assured. They gotta need the support. The only difference is that the encounter cards themselves for the right line is just gonna be looking different, and that's about it really. If it comforts anyone, it's just gonna be a different looking card, but it doesn't do anything specifically different. Because it is still using its normal rarity, it's not taking out an extra slot. Essentially, it's just there to look different, but it doesn't do anything else. So So this set will definitely have a touch up to Eugene, but the power up focus will be more towards Overlord and as well as Nirvana naturally.
I would say that I would say that there are probably one or two cards that are designed generically speaking, so that Overlord can use them as well as Eugene and Nirvana as well. Same thing for Captain Sanctuary as well. So I think those cards will actually be a thing going forward. So I think the best way to really make these encounter cards, these right lines feel fully supported, right, is to have generic enough cards in that same set, right, that actually can work for not just for Draconic Overlord, but also for Eugene and also for what's that? For Nirvana. Sorry, the name slipped for a while. So.
They might just stop supporting Eugene.
Not really,
no. They will support him one more time at least. Based on card game's philosophy of card boosting. So usually this is what happens. At least for Vanguard. Is that for Vanguard, main character will always get a boost. Okay? And then anything that is sub will have a touch up. Okay, a touch up, and then it will be obsolete after that. Then the next set will so in that touch up they will have a new set, and then this set will get its touch up the next set, and then the process repeats. It's an endless cycle. Based on this is what at least I am predicting. My prediction for it is that it's gonna be a touch up, new right line touch up, new right line touch up. Then it goes like that.
And technically, correct. And technically speaking, DPU2 actually has a couple of supports for Eugene already. Actually, these two cards that I have flashing on screen right now. The one on the left is an X skill. So if you retire one of your opponent's regards this turn, you can counterblast one and activate one of the following effects. This unit gets plus 10k for the turn, or move this unit into soul. Choose one of your grade 2 and above enemy regards and actually retire it. So yeah, there's still support coming up for Eugene. The other one is that when this unit intercepts, if your opponent has 2 or less rear guards for the battle, this unit gets plus 10k shield. So this one is actually a 50k interceptor. So but it's part and parcel of how Eugene kind of plays. So these are actually worthwhile cards to actually add into Eugene, and actually these are, considering how Eugene is right now, right? These two actually are quite viable for inserting into the Eugene deck actually.
If you ask me, I feel that the great one, the double R is more worth something.
The double R is double R, of course, it's a bit more worth.
Yeah, double R is worth more something, but the common obviously not so much, because again, the problem that Eugene runs into is the opponent has 2 or less. It's very resource heavy to push your opponent to 2 or less. It's very resource heavy. It's not even a joke. Based on my plays with Eugene, right, the only time I can put my opponent at 2 or less is only at the very early part of the game, where at the start of the write-up, because your opponent is not trying to give you too many fodders, so you had to make a play to force them to pull a fodder out so they can destroy it. That sort of thing. And that's like usually the only time you have a 2 or less situation.
Correct.
And after that, you have to start, you're more of cheesing your opponent off at this point. And him going below that really depends on how much counterblast you're going to throw out there. Or did you play the order card instead if you have it in your hand at the time? Otherwise, most of the time, it's your opponent won't be a 2 or less. I'll be honest.
Was that a spoiler for your fight with Zorga?
No. It's just general experience.
General experience, of course. Yeah.
General experience. Yeah.
Indeed. So encounter card. Vimero says encounter cards for Dark States could be Brufas. It's said to be one of the first demons after he battled with Amon in the old times. It depends on who's still alive 3,000 years ago. Because I think they're only talking about Draconic Overlord because he's technically still alive 3,000 years after the fact. So I think that's why we got Draconic Overlord and Phantom Blaster Dragon up to a certain extent, because those two are closely related. So in terms of like Brufas being a thing, might not be unless they do want to tell that story, or if Amon is somehow still alive. Some way, somehow. So
Amon is a demon. It's no surprise that he's still alive.
Andrew says Scar saying I'm surrounded by idiots. That line has stuck to me because of pandemic, revealing the other side of people. So well, we don't make mentions of the other side of the pandemic, so we all kind of seen it and experienced it and kind of know it, preaching to the choir. So yeah, we just need to focus on the positives right now. So, and even though we do feel the frustrations, at the end of the day, it's just out of the concern that we want to make sure that, you know, this game that we've fallen in love with again, right, continues to be that same game going forward as well, and not screw with us in any way, shape or form that they haven't done so far. So yeah, Brain says, plus if they get Gustbuster, the promo, it will make you lose. So I don't think they will come up with Gustbuster. I personally don't think they will come up with Gustbuster. So
Gustbuster was not in the so-called main canon line.
Correct.
It was a comic special card. So he was a promo, and then he went into V because V followed closely to the followed closely to the manga. So technically, in canon-wise, he didn't became Gustbuster Dragon. He was just him going to Phantom Blaster Overlord, and then he lost, and then his soul was trapped in Blaster Duck, and then they are like in this JoJo Bizarre Adventure thing. The Phantom Blaster Dragon became his deck.
So yeah. Much like Magatsu Storm in Nobatama, his delegate support came in VBT 03, but he still got some cards in the next booster set, even in VBT 11 or so. It will not be the focus of the booster to support these first bosses, but each nation will have at least 1 or 2 for them in the next booster set. So that's aptly put with Vimero, so that's aptly put. Once they move out of those bosses and make new ones, which I hope is soon, we will see how they handle legacy support. So yeah, we will have to see how they handle legacy support, because as I've said plenty of times before, DB02 is the real mark of where Overdress is gonna be good or not as a format, and boosting for Bushido side is actually gonna be in a good state, because if the second boost goes back to the way that it was, right, first boost can be fantastic or as shit as possible, but if the second boost continues the trend of what we know Bushido has done so far, then yeah, it seems that our faith in Overdress may have been misplaced, or Bushido rather may have been misplaced also. But so far, let's hope that hope doesn't go out from there. So, Martin says the encounter cards also mean the future of G units, since this is the future. Encounter cards can hint that that G units are going to be a thing, but G units, I believe, right, are actually going to be normal units. They're not going to be encounter cards. they're actually going to be normal units that technically exist in this time period. And the reason why we saw them in Vanguard's past is because the power of strike brought them over to time travel. So technically speaking, this 3,000 years later, this is actually where they live. So they should be normal units and not technically encounter cards. Right. Okay, let's just move off from the encounter cards thing also, because other things that they mentioned, right, is that one of the popular fan questions is, can we buy power counters on their own?
Nope, they're not gonna do it because that's how they're gonna make you buy products.
Okay, right now the power counters, right, are actually given as random prizes in shop tournaments. But they actually they've been hearing feedback, and as I mentioned, it's one of their more popular questions. Similar to us, we sympathize with you, producer Mori. We sympathize with you in terms of how people want these power counters. Expect that in the recap. What he said is that actually, right, they couldn't add them to the start decks because they want to make sure that these start decks are as cheap as possible. So that one is actually a good move on there. They are including in the trial decks for Tokyo Rumble for Monster Strike. For now, there is no plans, but they will be looking into selling them separately soon. And I think soon was hinted at probably next year. So they might actually, they might actually officially start selling power counters as separate products very soon. Buy LTD is Bushiroad. If you can wait a little bit longer, yeah, you can actually buy them separately soon also. But right now there's no plans, but they will look into seeing whether if it's something that it's profitable for them to do, which should be the case. So yeah.
Yep.
Alright, and one last thing. No, two things actually. There's actually gonna be 6 right lines in Lyrical Monasterio. We only saw 5.
Yeah, that's how they want to make you throw your wallet into their faces.
Yeah, and I think the last one is Angel, because there was the Angel over trigger. So I think the last right line could be an Angel right line. Because it's the only one so. Right. Okay, so another question is, why are these sets released 3 months apart? Because it's running on a nation system, so if they do it once every month, right, they're just gonna be a huge overload of nation cards that actually Overdress has also, and it's one of the original problems that Vanguard has also, and it is actually addressed. They are not forced to churn them out every month, because the clan system forced them to actually have to churn out every month, because every booster set they're only releasing for like 8 different clans, and so they have to do 3 different releases. And even though players are used to like just waiting for their main clan to actually be boosted before they purchase it, they also want to make sure that for Overdress, right, they're actually taking the time and making sure that the power creep, he literally said power creep, he's making sure that the power creep remains in check, and then the cards are actually well balanced.
Yes, because because one of the most important things to take note about Vanguard boosting back in the day, it creates a marketing problem for them.
Yep.
Because not only because people are looking out for specific clans that they want, that also means certain boosters won't sell because of said clans that are in there. And usually, it's these guys. It would be Spy Brothers, Tachikaze, Uwatawa. No. Spy Brothers, Tachikaze, and Mega Colony. These 3 are always together, and from my understanding is that this set usually don't sell well.
Yep.
They don't usually sell well, and then the ones that sell really well are things like Mega Lanika with Shadow Paladin, with a few things. So that means it becomes very selective, very choosy, and again, some clans become stronger than others, and some just straight out bonk because they don't know what to do with it.
Correct.
And so having 3 months, right, also gives them a bit of buffer to listen to players, listen to the community rest that they are doing right now, to make the to do the proper adjustments before the releases of the cards.
Exactly.
So
it's nice that it's publicly addressed it as well. Publicly addressed by Mori-san. Yeah.
Now, I see you are a Cardfighter of culture. I mean, that means he actually, as we already seen by now, he actually puts in the time and the effort to listen and to take a look at what has happened. This is also what led up to the dumpster fire we call Premium
now. Yeah.
V Premium was an absolute dumpster fire. Surprisingly, Strike Era was kind of in a meh. Not a lot of people really like it, but it was okay. Legion was great, but it was short-lived. And then we have V Premium that started out pretty good, and then it went to hell. It just went to hell. It just went into break right. Essentially, that was what it is.
Essentially, yeah. So correct. It's quite hard for me to find pieces of Tachi and Megas without cracking boxes myself. So exactly.
As AG just pointed out, is literally the problem, because these are sets that people don't buy because it's not popular. And even though these are also the underdog clans that people who knows how to play them usually ends up topping in tournaments, but immediately after that, the next set that comes out will be usually Bermuda Triangle, and then that thing will steamroll everybody. Legit.
In G era, right? In G era, before I went to V era, the strongest boost still is the Bermuda Triangle one, because if you don't count V, if you don't play any V stuff, if you don't play any Overdress stuff, Goro is actually the strongest deck in all of Vanguard from G era onwards at the end of G, because it was the last booster set that came out, and that was the biggest problem that we here at CVGS actually have with Bushido and Vanguard at that point in time.
Yeah, it was nonsensical, very easily very nonsensical. And some of these things, right, are obviously not addressed, and even when people spoke up about it, nobody cared. And that's how it led up to everything, and that's also probably what led up to firing the entire R&D team,
Yep.
I believe. Because again, it was quite clear that when V selection, a clan selection booster where the Vermilion all this showed up, obviously a different team was taking on to the job to make those cards, because they were surprisingly balanced. Even Chaos Breaker wasn't making so much noises. It was his strength was very based on how strong your opponent is, or at least how strong that opponent Vanguard is. And if like the guy doesn't even run any markers, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, and also because I mean, it's good that they're addressing it, and they're actually addressing it on a public domain, so they're allowed to. So this is actually just good also, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that the game remains as good. They want the same goal. We have the same goal. So there's no reason why we shouldn't talk to each other and communicate. So yeah, for them to actually address that power creep is the thing. They did their market research. The market research does say that Vanguard actually has the worst power creep in any card game. In any card game out now. So it is actually said publicly out loud as well. So, but yeah, the fact that they said that they're taking time to make sure that the power creep is in check and then the cards are well balanced, there's just more faith in the fact that maybe these encounter cards that we're going to be seeing might not be as bad as we are pulling them out to be. So we just have to adopt a wait and see in order to really make sure that Overdress continues to be successful, especially if it's going to be a 10-year plan.
Yeah, but depending on 10 years, we'll still be around to check it out. It remains to be seen, but. Yeah. If this is the way they do it, then maybe Vanguard could be the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering. It will be officially become the 4 Heavenly Kings.
Yeah.
Beside MTG, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!
We turn the 3 God cards into the 4 Heavenly Kings, yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, correct. Essentially, yes. So, I think I missed one over here by Luke. So I have a feeling that Q4 Ace cards might get encounter cards in the future, but that won't be for a long time. I just have this feeling that will happen. It could happen. But we'll see, so because it depends on what is the story that's going to be written on the lore website, which the English version is actually coming out this Friday, actually, which I'm looking forward to, or Saturday our time maybe. So I'm going to actually be looking forward to reading all of that. As W Slasher point out, is that for those who have no patience to wait for the people at on the wiki site to translate all of this.
Yeah, legit. That's me. 100% me. I'm guilty of that. So. I'm thinking they continue with this rhythm of a boost, introducing bosses. Next one, dedicated support. And last one finishes off these decks while introducing new ones or so. It's the perfect circle for the 3-month booster separation. I kind of agree, actually, Romero. I kind of agree with that quite a bit. So Andrew says that I'm so glad that my wallet can breathe a sigh of relief. Yes, because I have video games to buy.
I got a shop to run, so I gotta make money.
Right.
Okay.
3 months is also good to give consumer time to breathe before looking at the next sets. very aptly put. Yeah, Mega Colony outside of Gridor is really hard to find. The worst thing from this nation stuff is that Busher is probably going to focus even more on the teams that sells. So Tachi, Colony, Nobatama, light cards might not get a right line, which sucks. So, and even if they do get, they'll probably be made one wave of support and just forget about it and make more paladins and waifus. So they'll try their best. So whenever they introduce a new right line, it's gonna be a new gameplay, and they have a lot of clans that they haven't tapped into. So I wouldn't say hold your breath, but I would say that you can expect these things to be sooner than you believe. So just hold out, Vimero. So we might be seeing these Nomotamas, these Mega Colony play styles, and so on and so forth, right, in the new right lines as they get announced. So remember, we only got announcements of 2 new right lines for Captain Century and for Dragon Empire. There's still the other nations that might get new right lines. So we will just probably have to adopt and wait and see how we go from there. So Mate says the roundtable TCG. Let's do this. Yep. Roundtable TCG.
Yes.
So
provided it lives along.
Yeah. Okay. Last thing from the Q&A is that this one was actually fan submitted. They took this from the comments. So somebody asked about their feelings about why the V Clan collection is actually being released at the same time. Because they said this. It's actually a test for them to see if releasing them both at the same time is good for the community. Because the news that we got for the V Clan collections, right, is they're both releasing at the same time on September 3rd. So they're actually testing the waters to see if it's something that players want. So because that's also a good way for them to actually kind of like give the V Premium, and in that instance Premium, one good strong boost once a year. So, but then they want to see, because there are some people that kind of like, I kind of prefer it like, 1 month after the other, because, I play multiple clans. So, having that 1 month actually gives me a breather to actually experience the cards from this first set, and then the cards from the later set afterwards. So,
if you ask me honestly, I thought that releasing it together is still a better idea than not. Because here's the kicker. The problem about sometimes when you release a set like this, right? If you have them segmented, means everybody will be on the same power level. The problem is that what they essentially also want is to put everybody on the even playing field. Because sometimes you get nonsense like people who goes, yeah, you got your boost, so what am I gonna do? I got nothing. So this kind of fix a problem in some way. If anyone agrees, is that if both teams get cards like that, and then together means everybody gets to play together with the new cards, so nobody's waiting for anybody. And also at the same time, if you're playing multiple clans, honestly, that's kind of your problem. if you ask me, that's your problem, really.
Medium plays Dimension Police, Double Grappler, and Pale Moon.
It's not their fault that they didn't make you buy the cards. They bought it because you want to play it. So if they put it this way, what's it their fault now?
Apparently, pirate bugs are now a thing. New right line, pirate bugs.
I think I'll stick with my samurai bugs in Battle Spirits. Thank you very much.
Brain says, speaking of Korean fan, he is my sign. He's Chinese zodiac since he's born in the year of the tiger. So I'm born in the year of the snake.
I'm a goddamn fucking heel trigger.
What?
I'm a heel trigger.
You're a heel trigger?
I'm the goat.
Oh, right, the goat. So yeah, actually, and they also address for the English side also, because they're actually looking to making sure that the promo cards that weren't released in English are actually being released in English, and so the weekend collection is also a way to monitor and see how the premium format is actually being impacted. So they are going to be taking notes, they're going to be taking feedback as to how premium is going to be like once the client collection comes out, and they're also aware that English side actually does not have a lot of the big staples that were promo cards in Japanese, so they want to make sure that these cards are released going forward as well. So so Mori-san is actually being concerned about Vanguard on a global scale, so that's good to hear. So Viking cows, please don't. Please don't.
Wait. Something is wrong with that statement, because as far as I know, is that English will always get.
No, there are some staple cards that were released as promos in Japanese. It didn't come to the English side. I've heard those similar complaints from our community also.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay. Because from my knowledge is that usually they do print the promo as either a common card or a rare inside the set. This is also why sometimes things comes out. It's a bit different between the English and the Japanese side because they did most of the time they do include the promo into the boxes. It's at least based on my knowledge. As it is, I'm about to find out soon with the shop opening.
Yeah. So
But,
at least it's good to know that Moisai is also thinking on a global scale as well in terms of what the English side is actually experiencing. So yeah, because he is in charge of Vanguard on a global scale. So it's good to see that he's actually behaving as a producer on a global scale. So again,
and I appreciate that.
Yeah, faith in Vanguard still is very strong on my end. So I hold out a bit of hope that these encounter cards are gonna be fair once we see their skills come out. So yeah. Luke was born in the year of the rabbit, so he may not be a strong swimmer, but he's very clever. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much the news from it. Actually, there wasn't much going forward. Oh yeah, there's also the promo cards that are actually releasing for the month of June, the Japanese side. Let me just touch upon them. First off, the cute little sunrise egg.
Yes.
The cute little sunrise egg, because this sunrise egg is very precious. I want 90 copies of this. So Viking cows, but instead like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I do not know. I never played Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So Rin says some OP promo cards were not printed in English. So yeah, there you go right there, Leon. Viking cows, blah blah. Yeah, like Pursuit Assault, Jadoneko, the Tachi Great One that makes gauges. These are really important for decks for Magatsu, Lambros, and every Tachi. So not releasing them in English is just sad. So Sunrise Egg, I want. Yes, we all want the egg. So Vimero, oh yeah, most of the year Snake and I need to decide if I'm solid or liquid. Why not solidus? You become president. Alright, going into the promo cards. These are actually for the V Premium and the Premium cards. So this unit skill continues on the back row Regard Circle. So during your turn, if there are 2 or more Regards that were called by card ability, this unit gets boost and plus 5k power. And its other skill, when this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle, other than from the Regard Circle, aka you cannot intercept, you may pay so plus 1, and for the battle, when this unit is retired, you can call this unit to empty Regard Circle in the back row. So this one is actually a really good card, and from what I've heard, this is actually going to be very good for Gurgit. Because Gurgit will make the best use of this card. Specifically also, which is always good to see. Then the other one is for Great Nature. At the end of the turn, you may so blast 1. Then if you do, retire all of the units in the same column as this unit. If 2 units were retired, then choose one of your Vanguards, search your deck for a unit with the same name as the chosen Vanguard, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. So this is actually a really good card for you to fetch your Ace Quick Tree so that you can actually get the Excel marker out. And retiring 2 actually like helps benefit for all of Premium, not just V Premium also. In the fact that you can actually have a few things chain off, especially when at the end of the turn, if this unit is retired, then stuff happens. So yeah, this is actually a really, really good promo card to actually have also. And of course the last one, oh, go ahead.
But some people were pointing out that this card probably would do better in Magnolia than it would be in Premium.
Only in
because
because
the problem with Magnolia is that you want to do the persona writing. It's very important that you persona write.
Yeah.
And this thing is basically, as I mentioned in the live stream yesterday, it was Tensha Stat. It's their version of Tensha Stat, but not for D format. Yeah. Which is kind of weird.
Yeah, but even if it's not for persona writing, it's also good for generating the Excel circles also. So something like this in the early game actually is pretty good because this one has no timing. This has no timing. As soon as you are grade 3, you can search your deck for copy and just start all the retiring. Retire all Regards in the same unit. Retire all units in the same column as this. Yeah.
But if there's no units to retire, then you just him.
Yep.
So technically, if that column only has him, then you
won't
that's
get
all you pay.
you won't get the surge because 2 units need to be retired. And so if you try to retire something that is resist, like say Stamp Author, that cannot be retired, you won't be able to get it because 2 units will not retire. So yeah.
Actually, I think it's different. No, Stamp Author is different. Stamp Author is not resist. Stamp Author still can be retired, but okay. Stamp Author is when if you have a Great Nature Vanguard, this unit cannot be retired by effects from cards. It's not resist. Resist is you cannot target it.
Yeah.
So it actually can be still chosen as a retirement target, and you can still search because technically it retires but it doesn't die.
But the point that I'm making is that if 2 units won't retire, you can't activate the skill. So if somehow, some way you have a rear guard that has a skill that says, oh, they cannot be retired by any means necessary, and you try to activate this skill and the other one doesn't go in, you won't be able to proc up the skill because 2 units will not retire.
Does it state that specific? That's the question.
No, that's what I'm pointing out. That's what I'm pointing out because I remember them being this specific because they need to check that two units were retired. Because if a unit was chosen to be retired but does not retire, it's not retired. So it doesn't count. It doesn't take that count up.
I see.
I believe so, but yeah.
Yeah, let me just check something. What's his name again? The Federal Janitor, what?
Siga, I think. Yeah, Siga. Saiga. Saiga.
Yeah, they will.
So while Leon looks at that, I'll talk about the standard, the D standard promo card. It's for Brand Gate. So when this unit attacks, if you have a set order card on the field in your order zone, so you can so +1, and for battle this unit gets +5k. So this one is quite universal for both Brand Gate and for all of Brand Gate, Office as well as Sarasno.
Okay, it does say that if you retire 2 units, then choose your one Vanguard. So it specifically says you must retire.
Yeah, it has to go. Yeah, the unit has to go. So. What I miss? Aegis wants the Sunrise Egg. Yes, we all want the Sunrise Egg. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, nice one. If I play, I said if you play PBD with Gus Blaster, it will make you lose. So, if you play PBD with Gus Blaster, you have to see what PBD, what this PBD will do. This upcoming PvP will do. So, Vimero can realizes he can become president. What everyone sees good with support, while I see Aggravating support. Yes, a lot of people kind of sleep on Aggravating because I think he's actually pretty good. So, Vimero says some white hair kid cuts me off in half, screaming rules of nature. Okay then. I said you'll be president. I never said that you'll be alive at the end of it. So. Right, so that's all the cards that we got from the set, and of course we are getting Dr. O as a guest next week. And they're actually going to be revealing the heal trigger abilities that we can see from the Weekend collection, which is something that we will pay attention to. And of course, there will be more information on the booster packs and new card powers. Not know what specific is yet, but we definitely will find out more next Tuesday going forward from there. So yeah, that kind of wraps up the news, and as well as our shared opinions on A, B, C, and D. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is definitely what it is. We just have to adopt a wait and see, but you can be certain that if you have strong feelings, about the state of Vanguard and Overdress going on right now, you can reach out to producer Mori. He's taking all feedbacks, but please make sure, I iterate once again, please be nice, please be respectful as well, because we don't want them to stop listening to us. Because we are a very big community, and we don't want it to go back to Vanguard's past, where it's just we do this, like it or leave it. That's not how it should work. So yeah. Theory on V heal.
Before that, Marquez is like, resist only works if your opponent chosen to target not yourself. So resist can still correct. Resist can. Because Cat was talking about Stamp Author, because Stamp Author's skill is specific about if your Vanguard is a Great Nature, then this card will retire by your card abilities. Yep. So it's to prevent your board being, you don't self-wipe, essentially. That's why that was it. Yeah, but the problem about the Veteran Janitors, Siga, he requires 2 units to be retired for you to search, so you cannot abuse Stamp Author, essentially, in this case.
Correct.
But definitely you can still retire your own resist units because it's your own skill and not your opponent's chosen skill. So yeah, theory on the V heal, so far my personal theory is that heal Perfect Guards.
They look like Guardian units. So given all their designs, I'm trying to scroll up to find it.
Yep.
We're going through all the Token Rambo stuff, so the stuff that wasn't
Yeah,
released in the live stream.
because the art kind of looks like perfect guards.
The art looks like guards of some kind also. So maybe
Yep.
they might be Sentinel guards. That's one possibility. They could be Sentinel guards, or they could be a new type of Sentinel. They could be a new type of Sentinel. My prediction is they're a new type of Sentinel. What they do right will depend on, what they do right will. I don't really have a guess, but they are definitely gonna be a new type of Sentinel. That's my guess. So.
Yep, definitely.
Yep, correct.
There will be a new kind of gun, or alternatively, they're gonna get. Okay, it's just a guess. Guess. They have two abilities where they are a perfect guard, and they have ability if they are discarded as a G Guardian cost.
Wait. What if they are the Overdress PGs?
No, that would be a waste of time.
True.
Because we are talking about V premium here, that means we're talking about premium here. So that means, right, this card has to be not just it has to do more than just discarding one card less. And but I feel that it's not that far-fetched to be a perfect guard and still has something unique that lets you trigger when you discard it for G Guardian. The only downside is that it does not have a 20k shield comparison to its original predecessor. So it's or in this case was 10. Actually, it was 10.
Yep.
But they have a skill where you G guard if you're what not as what, and something happens lah. But in this case, if it doubles as a perfect guard and when you use as a cost as a G Guardian, it looks to be more feasible in this moment now.
True.
This is what I feel.
Vivero says that he's hoping that the heals be some kind of PG or G Guardian effect, and that there are different effects for each clan. I'm kind of hoping that there will be different effects, but it's within the realm of possibility. But I have kind of a bad feeling that it's going to be generic across all of them. Like they're all going to do the same thing.
There definitely has to be generic because the last time they tried to make things not generic. We have a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it was called G Guardians.
We had an absolute dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Both the G Guardian and the heal triggers that had skill when you G Guard because they were specific.
Yep.
For certain G Guardians.
Specific thing, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
And not just that, and not all of them were created evenly either, and they were treading in weird places, like the Dimensional Police one has counter charge, or was it the Nova Grappler one?
Nova Grappler one was counter charge, I think.
Yeah, the counter charge thing, and then he had also the soul charge thing, depending on what you don't have. But I think there's a G Guardian.
That's a G Guardian. That's a G Guardian.
But the supporting heal trigger had something to play along with it, if I recall.
Yep.
Yeah, but then there was things like the Narukami one that did absolutely nothing. Because they only lets you counter charge if you have no counter blast on. Then that was like, I'm dead.
I can propose ways for them to for these heal triggers to activate. I can't propose what they actually do. So because I can think of many different ways that they can actually activate. One of them is from drop zone, you send it to the bottom of the deck, then stuff happens.
So this is also why I was predicting that it's a PG hybrid with a when drop for G Guardian it does something. Because in exchange it has no shield power at all.
Yeah. That's what I mean by I can't really specifically predict what effects it could get. I can predict how they activate because there are some that seems to be on the more interesting spectrum that you can think of how these heals are gonna be able to activate. But yeah, I guess we'll see next week because next week we'll be literally getting the news or so, and we all will either celebrate or condemn depending on whether if they're gonna take the same approach that they have done with Overdress with the V Clan collection here. So a lot of judging still from our end that we have to do on them. So Luke says that I say it, Cardfight Vanguard is the greatest game in the world. It's a good card game. It's a good card game, don't get me wrong also. But there are other games, and it's subjective of course, that can claim the title of greatest game. So
yeah, they're definitely not the king of games, I can assure you. Because I'm not afraid to say it here on stream, I'm not afraid to say it. It's because I personally much like to play Battle Spirits than I do Vanguard these days. Because to me, to me, because Vanguard is a bit more simpler on the brain, on the many levels, and I don't have to strangle over somebody.
Correct.
Except in Galaxy, but otherwise, it's much more easier on my brain to play. But if I want to go for something more technical, I'll be playing Battle Spirits.
If you ask me, I love Vanguard more than I actually do Battle Spirit, so I'm opposite of Leon. But because I'm a video gamer as well, I'm a general all-round gamer, I can't really say that Vanguard is really the greatest game. So because I have to compare it to the other games that I played throughout my entire life, currently and also in the past as well, not just on the video game standard. So, but as I said, it's subjective, absolutely subjective. Everybody has their own favorite games in the world. So.
Yep, and plus I used to be a game master in a board game cafe.
Yep.
So I have played all kinds of games, and I used to work in another board game shop and card game shop.
Yep.
So I've seen things. I have seen things. I have played things. So yeah. So to me, I have a very large library to reference on. In terms of what could be the greatest game, but still, again, it's subjective.
Have you seen the line from the old Blade Runner movie? I have seen things you couldn't possibly imagine.
Oh no! I thought that was Game of Thrones movie.
No, there was one from Blade Runner. So it was actually referenced in Mortal Kombat 11 or so. But I was saying you the scene. But yeah, we have seen things that you couldn't possibly imagine. We're that old. Vimro says mechanically much better than a lot, especially since Yu-Gi-Oh! God, I can't play that game anymore. It's so horrible. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still enjoyable, but I think maybe I'm still finding it enjoyable because I look through it through rose-tinted glasses still. I only play the old stuff. I don't play the current stuff anymore right now. So.
More like I think that we still enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! To some level because we play normal human Yu-Gi-Oh! We don't play. we don't play lose your friends Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, we don't play lose your friends Yu-Gi-Oh! We play normal Yu-Gi-Oh! We want to have fun. We don't want to kill each other. If we want to kill each other, we'll just take our swords and then we'll just beat the living shit out of each other. It will just turn full battle royale.
Does anyone want a legacy of a duelist live stream?
Does anyone want a legacy of duelist live stream?
Yeah, I will beat Capspace in Legacy of the Duelist.
I haven't even booted up the game yet. I have no deck.
Dude, you bought the game, just play it, man.
I had no time, dude. I had no time. I'm already trying to do a lot of catch up in Vanguard Zero, both on 2 different versions. So yeah.
Not my fault. You wanted to play English.
Yeah. Heal Sentinel. Martin says heal Sentinel. Attack phase and if damage. If take damage, then damage is 5, but 15 HU. So basically, like the heal trigger can actually activate if you want to take 5 damage or 6 damage. So yeah.
Could be. But that also means a bit troublesome for certain things because you won't get a preemptive death. I guess a good thing is that you won't get a preemptive death for no reason. The problem is also things like this creates complications.
No, what if it's the Vanguard Zero PG?
No, that one is a systematic thing.
No,
it's not a choice.
They could totally bring it. If you want to take your 6 damage, you discard this card from your hand and you negate that damage.
Oh, that's gonna be so broken, man. That's gonna be so broken. And everyone's gonna run that shit. Trust me. And then you're gonna hate it to the end of the world where someone's like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna gamble for this damage, and then suddenly, oh, I had a huge trigger placed. Okay, now your attack will hit, your opponent's bloody descendant.
No, that's why I'm laughing so hard. I'm laughing so hard because of how chaotic it's gonna be if that were his skill.
Then you see descendants are showing up because of this preemptive trigger thing. Because the attack didn't. It's not even by choice.
I'll get to this part in a little bit. So, but yeah, let's just go in the comments. I just hope they don't have a generic good effect and just be a straight up upgrade to the heals. They could have different effects based on the gift of the decks, like Force heals are different from Protect and Excel heals. Speaking of gift, would it be cool if new bosses came with a different gifts, like an Angel Feather boss with Excel? Of course, if you Write and Protect, you won't get the trigger. So, no, I think them sticking with Persona Write is fine for now. I originally thought that they might actually add different types of markers, but I think after experiencing Persona Write, I think the Persona Write is like, it should be the only thing. They shouldn't try and introduce a new marker, at least not so quickly. So yeah.
No, it's gonna over convolute things and it completely screw up the meta. Then you're back to square one over again.
Yeah, exactly. So Yeah, so yeah, in CCGs, Vanguard is best for me, haha. Video games, I'll probably say that Monster Hunter and Mega Man franchises are the best. Hey, you're a man of culture, Vimero. Mante says, yes, normal Yu-Gi-Oh, Judgment Dragons and Mirror Force. So hey,
Yeah.
that was a time when we all would laugh at that. So
Yes.
the heel trigger is the hamster Leon. So that reminded me to this thing that I'm gonna point out. Vimero says, what if they are grade 1 heals?
That is actually no, forget that, I'm done. I forgot there's a thing called rules.
Yeah.
I think DODN, I see no power. Legit.
Actually, no, forget it. I'm dumb, so I forgot there's a thing called rules. Yeah, there's a thing called rules.
There's a reason why heal triggers are specifically
Also,
grade zeros.
Leon, do you know that there's a doggo between the feet of Draconic Overlord?
Yeah, I saw. There's the golden retriever there.
There's a golden retriever right here where my mouse is, if you guys can see the mouse. Oh, you guys can see the mouse. But between his
No,
legs,
I
there's
can't
actually
see
a
the
doggo there. I don't know what to say after all that. So don't take our words for it, Luke. Don't take our words too much to heart also, because we all are different people, and Vanguard is a great game. Vanguard is a great game. Absolutely 100%. But don't be disheartened by the things that we said or what everybody else said. If Vanguard is the greatest game for you, it is the greatest game. Nothing of what we say will ever change your mind on that. So, but one thing that we want to kind of instill in you as we talk about this is that we want you to broaden your horizons. We want you to explore the world of gaming, because the world of gaming is very vast. And there's a lot of great experiences out there that you can experience. So, in short, what we want to instill in you is the open-mindedness that gaming is great. Gaming as a whole is great.
So Ray told us it.
Yes. So I apologize if you seem hurt by it. I 100% apologize if you seem hurt by the things that we said. But do take into heart that we are only saying these things because we want to make sure that it's not just Vanguard that is said to be the greatest game in the world. In fact, all of gaming should be considered the greatest thing in the entire world. Because it's what gives us a lot of pride. It's what gives us a lot of purpose. I did a 12-hour stream because I love video gaming so much. So that is a testament to the open-mindedness that I've had ever since I was told that one day that the greatest game that I loved wasn't actually the greatest game in the world to other people.
Because it's subjective, again.
It's completely subjective. Each person is their... everybody is their own each person, so yeah. Oive says Andrew. So, what if it was healed then returned back to deck like Sphere Magus from OG? No, I think it's a very outdated mechanic. So I sincerely doubt that they will actually try and bring that back. So
Bring back Battleizer first. Make Battleizer great.
No, Battleizer was never great. Theo, he was relentless on my ass. Talking about Theostra, yep. Theo kept wanting to bite only my ass. That's what Theostra does. He'll bite my ass, sharpen ass. Vimera says, kinda like over triggers, they go back to the deck and you draw.
Go back to the deck. No. Over triggers are not supposed to go back to your deck.
Over triggers do not go back to your deck. They get removed from game.
Yeah, the moment you checked it, it gets removed from the game.
No.
It doesn't go back to your deck. That's not how it works. That's not how 1 million power absolute bonkers is supposed to work.
Indeed, also. No, I'm not hurt by that. It's just I don't know what to say in the chat. So, do not worry. If something does come to mind and you want to put it down, like absolutely feel free to do so. You're welcome to share your opinions. This is a discussion stream after all. Even if it's whether it's for Vanguard or whether it's for any other games, like absolutely 100%. If you want to share your thoughts, do let us know. Yes, Mate says BS Fluffy Boost servers got king.
I love Gawking. Gawking is so fun. When you can technically dry check and then you shoot your bonus line. Whereas
yep, Theostra wants to keep biting my ass. Is he harder on Rise? I'm farming G rank Theo on Generations Ultimate, so playing against him with Adept Gunlance is so fun. So his moveset is updated, so it's kind of like learning a new cycle. But he is a little bit more aggressive in Rise. I personally feel so. What do you think, Leon?
well, we only fought him that 3 times, and we're still trying to get used to things essentially. So
yeah, so
yeah, he is a bit different. All monsters that is returning monsters are all different in their own regards.
Yeah, so jury's still out for Leon in that regard. So Andrew says, "Is my female hunter's ass that tasty to Yustra?" You made it. You can define how tasty that ass is. So yeah, so Leon Vietnam War flashbacks.
Yeah. When you just suddenly die to the seal effect and then you just like bombardment, let's go!
Oh no, I was talking about how they don't heal, go to the damage zone, heals get checks, and then pieces out and then you draw. Oh, so basically these heal triggers are actually has the skill where they are removed from game instead lah.
you check the U trigger. So,
Legacy of Duelist stream with Cat. I have the game,
Yeah.
I haven't booted it up even once because I was playing other things. So I have literally no progress on Legacy of Duelist on my end. Leon has a lot. So I don't have anything.
I have the means to completely whoop his ass.
And even if I have something, he will just wipe my ass on the floor. Like you're it's a meme now. I never beat Leon. And everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
Is that why we play more co-op games than we played any versus games?
Shit, you found out my plan. Really hope that G rank rise brings crabs and insects back. I want the Celta's Queen armor. Celta's Queen was never native to there. Probably not the case also. They usually bring back monsters based on popularity and or nativity. So that's why the Azuros is in Rise, because Azuros first debuted in Portable Third, and that's in Yukomo Village, which is similar in nature to, similar in culture to Kamura Village in Rise. So that's why that's there. A lot of the other monsters also that is there, right? They were there because Yukomo Village had them. So yeah, Rin Pro Cap. Story of my life, at least here on CVGS. So yeah, doggo between Draconic Overlord. So what else? Oh, there was something that I prepared actually, physically or mentally, both. There's something that I actually prepared as well. I was kind of hoping to save this for more crowds, maybe with a special guest. I definitely will try and bring this back for a special guest because they probably will never heard this part before, but you guys will. So, you guys know that Google Translate thing, whereby you take something and then you put it to different languages in Google Translate and then translate it back to English and it comes out horribly different. Yeah, I did that. I did that right now with the aces for Vanguard Overdress, and I'm sad to report Google Translate has gotten a lot better. Google Translate has actually gotten a lot better. But if you guys want to take a whack at it, right, I have some here that would kind of like boggle your mind. So I'll test it with you guys. I'll test it with Leon as well. If Tetsukabra and Zamtrios don't come back, I'll talk to Ichinose personally. So do that. Alright. So as I said, these are all Overdress Ace units, so it may be easy to figure out by process of elimination, but play along with me. So I've taken this unit's name, and I've put him from English to Japanese, to Estonian, to Belarusian, to Javanese, to Turkish, to Hawaiian, and then back to English. Because for some odd reason, right, his title does not translate. Does not translate. It came out being the same. So I only got his actual name changed. And so here's the name. The Google translated name is Blues Eye. Anybody wants to take a guess as who that is? Google Translate became better. A certain female idol dragon crits Tears of Joy. Crits Tears of Joy.
I need your horse, yeah. So I need your whole bar.
Yeah, exactly.
I miss JB. I miss going to JB to buy cards. It's cheap.
I actually miss going to JB just for shopping actually, like clothes shopping and also for grocery shopping also.
Okay, can we just put up a quick vote here? Does anyone want to see me whoop your ass with a blue eyes on the Legacy of the Duke? See what happens.
I have no deck. You technically won by forfeit.
No, Legacy Well, you could build the deck. You have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks. I have reservice for a while, so I might not even come on time. So yeah.
Sorry. Luke says he has no idea. Matis Kaiba intensifies. Okay.
I'm Kaiba.
Yeah, you're Kaiba. So the best order is to translate from Japanese to English and then to a Latin language like Portuguese, Spanish, or French. Then to a Slav one. So my go-to language to translate is actually always Arabic, because whenever you translate to Arabic, right, it comes out something different. As long as it's like a Sanskrit kind of language, so you can get a different meaning out of it as well. And I got a few with some of the others as well. So, but some weren't that successful. I'll go through some of the examples. But for now, anybody still wants to take a gander at what Blue's Eyes is?
Blue eyes.
No,
Quite direct.
Again, is it Overdress Ace unit?
Blue eyes, eh? Blue eyes.
After that, it became completely broken. Cries, Google Translate became better at the cost of my bloody autocorrect. Why is to be autocorrect? Leon will use creation to build a Yu-Gi-Oh deck out of thin air. He doesn't need it. It's somewhere in the office.
Yeah, I do own the physical Blue Eyes deck, so
Yep.
to be more specific, it was a Chaos Max deck.
Yep.
With Blue Eyes actually as part of the deck and not in the trash. Not in the GY.
He was a little TikTok that I put his Blue Eyes in the trash.
Yeah, I haven't killed you for that.
Oh, you
Yes.
kill me for other things. What's this death? What's this death any different?
Considering how much I spent on it, so
Okay.
anyways,
Yeah, okay.
So there was this Blue Eyes thing,
Blue Eyes, yes.
Blue Eyes.
The eyes part is actually like A and I with like apostrophes on top of that. It came from the Hawaiian, so.
Yeah, that's a different thing altogether. Blue as in BLUE, blue?
Yeah, blues. BLUES. It ended up being
Yeah,
translated
yeah.
as blues.
Bastion?
Nope. Focus on the blues. I think that's the biggest hint.
Bastion is blue!
No, focus on the word blues.
Yeah, blues. So,
Not the
okay.
color. Not the color scheme. Because his color scheme is not blue.
Soga?
Nope.
Bruce?
Yes. It's Bruce.
Bruce? Oh, okay.
Blues. Bruce. Blues.
Where
Bruce.
did the I came from?
Somehow violence ended up translating into that.
Okay, and Win gets a score then. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so the reason I didn't give the full name, because the full name Diablos Violence Bruce, somehow the Diablos ended up being Diablot. Diablot. So it's like, once I say Diablot, everybody knows, oh, it's Violence Bruce. So I'll do one more, and I only give the name because the original, the title didn't translate fully. So I'll give you the name. The name is Serposno.
Awesome.
Yeah, there you go. That was one of the more easier ones as well. That was the more easiest one. Okay, here's one hard one, and I think this is the last one that I'll do. So, the unit translated from English to Japanese to Maori to Thai to German to traditional Chinese to Bulgarian and then back into English. Air pressure expert.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I think the clue was Ace Vanguards, right?
No. Because air pressure master.
Air pressure expert, so yeah.
Right. Because Barrow Manga's title is gravity something.
Master of Gravity, yeah.
Master of gravity.
Yeah, so Barrow Magnus ended up just getting left behind. Just got left behind also. Okay, so some of the other ones that kind of like failed off. The Serposno, the full title ended up being Aurora's Battle Queen.
Very close enough.
Yeah. Eugene ended up being for some reason Eugene doesn't want to translate. His name just doesn't want to translate. Because his name ended up being
Eugene is Eugene!
Eugene is Eugene. Yeah, so it ended up becoming a Yevgeny. Yevgeny. And
My
then
name is Jeff.
so heavy artillery of Dust Storm Eugene ended up becoming Yevgeny, a heavy artillery in a sandstorm. Hexaorb is weird. There's no way you can translate because Hexaorb, when translated, ended up being Ox Hexa Wizard. So yeah, Silverhorn Beast King Magnolia. This one was impossible. Sylvanian King of Hand Monsters. Magnolia didn't translate no matter what.
Wow.
One of the harder ones that I didn't use was Bastion. Apex Ruler Bastion ended up becoming Blue High Strength. Blue High Strength. And this one is a kicker. I didn't translate all because I didn't do Zorga, I didn't do Office, unfortunately. So, but Chakrabarti, Divine Dragon, Nirvana. Chakrabarti got tracked. Hotel Nirvana.
Hotel Nirvana. Travago? Hotel Travago.
Chakrabarti got tracked. Hotel Nirvana.
I think it sounds like those pirated card game cards.
It sounds like it. So it could be, might as well be so. It's like the backstroke of the West thing so. Eugene is bad and not even Google Translate wants to help so bad. Google Translate just doesn't want to change Eugene so. But yeah, what's next? Two of Eugene asks if they're both the same one. I mean, if you take the bootleg one, if you take the bootleg name one, sure. Yeah, okay. So that's all that I think we have here. If you guys have any comments, feel free to leave them on because I think we are gonna be calling here for the discussion stream. We kind of already got through all the news. There wasn't much that came up from this week. Again, thanks to Different Fights live stream. That's why I got information for the. Oh, please, not this one. I really hate that section for once, so yeah. Yeah, so thanks to Different Fights live stream, he did translate and went back and recapped all of the Q&A stuff. So those will all be going in the recap from there. Then news wasn't a plenty because we only technically got Zorga stuff out there. So Andrew got 2 Magna Malo Orbs from a Kill Calf and Broken Tail. Yeah, you probably want to watch your luck factor for other games, Andrew. Unless that's where it's all over leaking from. So yeah, we all. Well, I think that's it from me. So what about you, Leon?
There's nothing else at the moment for you, but I can stick around for another 4 more minutes. Yeah. So yeah, if there's any questions, feel free to ask them right away. And then we see if we can answer to them. Well, in the meantime, maybe I just look through my cards a little bit.
Yeah. So I think one thing that I can mention is that I like today's card of the days, the boost for Bruce. The order card is good, really really good. I might actually take up my defensive blitz order just to play this card. And the common card is actually not bad. I can consider putting her in, but with the space that I have, so she might be an early drop for that. So. Just to explain the skills a little bit, the order card is color plus 1 to play this card. Draw 1, call 1 card from your hand to the Regard Circle. And then if you're in Final Rush, for the turn, all units in the front row gets plus 10k. So that's a really good offensive card. Yeah, my opinion is that it's actually a really, really good card.
It is a very good card.
It is also. It's enough that I'm opting out to take out my defensive card to actually replace with this one. Just to make sure that I'm hitting hard when I want it to hit hard. So
yeah, because one of the problem about Bruce at the moment is that it's so reliant on the final rush, Persona final rush. So meaning that at times where he couldn't Persona means he doesn't get a lot of firepower, and he has to go like one big circle for anything to happen.
Yep, that is true. So.
It just.
Have we discussed about Toya wanting to quit the game? It hits
I mentioned. Sorry, you go first.
It hits home for me. That's all I'm gonna say. It hits home for me.
Yeah, it actually hits home for me just as much. I think the entire arc for Toya is the one that really is the most relatable to majority of the people in the community who has been following Vanguard for years or any TCG for years. As a matter of fact, anybody who has a loving hobby, whether it be modeling, whether it be a car game, it be anything, is that at some point of your life, you will be forced to stop playing and then just be focused on what you were meant to do to some extent. And you cannot keep playing forever.
Yep.
Unless, of course, your life eventually got so much better you can afford luxuries of playing, then sure, then good for you then. But not everybody is in that position. So, say Toya, for example. Toya is surprisingly, to my surprise, he wasn't a rich kid. He was actually another guy from a more normal family like most of us, but he has very demanding parents for grades and for everything else about him. They demanded high things from him, and he was supposed to be a doctor, so they couldn't care less about anything that he does. Because to them it's a waste of time, especially when you are Asian. I believe for most of us Asian, our parents has high expectations. But for me, luckily, my parents are not like that. My parents are pretty chill. It's just that at some point, we do have to make the choice to put down the game and then we have focus to what we want to do. For me, is that I'm lucky enough that I'm actually going down the path where I'm opening a card shop and then I'm able to meet more players and do more things. But now we're in the middle of this goddamn pandemic, so there's that.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's the thing. And Toya works very very hard to get to where he is. He is a perfectionist, as you can see from his character. Everything he does has to be 100%. So, at least 1,000%. So that's good. So he does everything at his best, at his finest, at his highest performance. And what's kind of like stopping him from stopping Vanguard was because he couldn't beat Danji. It's the one thing he wants to accomplish before he stops playing, because he feels that he has done everything that he needs to do, and then he can focus his entire life and dedicate it to his doctor career.
True.
Yeah, that is the message that is going out to people, and at the same time, it's a very very real situation for a lot of people.
Yeah, Leon, you're not seeing it, but I'm actually flashing the quick flash
Yeah.
scenes from
I'm seeing
the opening. Oh, you're seeing it?
Yeah, I'm
on
seeing
stream as well. Yeah, so this is Toya, as we seen, and yeah, we're getting deep into it, whereby certain prophecies are actually now being fulfilled. We still haven't seen this one because I think this one is the biggest hurting one.
Which is this coming episode? Episode 7 resumes for the end of episode 6.
Yeah, so it might be referring to that. So I'm not sure if this one is Toya's one, but we can see whether if that one is actually Zakuza or Toya. Because now I think about it, it could be Zakuza. Because Zakuza seems to be in the background.
Could be. This one could be.
This one we've seen before because we've seen how alone Yu actually is in school. So this is kind of representative of that. This one is Toya's scene, and then we saw this with Megumi and her brother, the distance that they have with each other. We haven't seen this for Masanori yet, and we've seen one of these hands is actually Danji's, so we don't know who the other hand is. So that's all going to be explained in the next 6 episodes.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
There some people are actually making predictions due to the appearance of the encounter cards. They are actually predicting that there might be a cameo from Kai or Ren.
Yeah. There is. Yeah.
Rumors are just rumors.
Rumors.
But I doubt it.
Alright, so true, I have been swimming in plates and orbs for rampages. Yeah. I think that the grade 1 is good for Baromagna, since you have the grade 3 that gives a unit plus 10k per 5 soul. Yeah, there was cards that actually released for Baromagna some time ago. And those cards are actually really good for Baromagna as well. So, Brain says that I hope they increase the shield power of the heals. That might be a possibility, but rather it has an ability, and I think they're gonna have ability, so we'll see. Andrew is swimming in Theostrop Ops thanks to RNG from the Hunts and the Pilfercats. Toya's occupation personally attacks Mate. Brain says, did you see the unit for token that can it again the overtrigger? I didn't see it, unfortunately, but I didn't know that they had a card that interacts directly with the overtrigger. But you're gonna have to like flash it to me before I actually talk about it. Oh, actually these are the Dark Six ones, the great one that he was talking about. When this unit boosts, if you have 5 or more cards in soul, cost counter +1, put this unit to soul. Choose 3 of your units in the front row and they get plus 5k power until the end of turn. The power added by this unit by boosting disappears. Okay. So This one is to add more to the soul and to make sure that you can somehow get the 15 that you need to activate Barrow Magnus. So plus 5k to the front row is actually alright. It's not. It's actually quite alright. So I can actually see this played in my Barrow Magnus if I ever build a Barrow Magnus deck. So. Renzens, welcome to the stream. You're actually new here, I believe so. It's a great too. How to approach going second as final rush? Patience. You have to be patient when you play Bruce as final rush, especially if you're going second. You have to be patient because you have the extra draw thanks to your first Vanguard. You have the extra draw, so you have more cards to actually defend yourself with. There have been plenty of games that I played right where I went second, and all I need to do is to just play patiently. And then after that, once I go into final rush, I go. Then depending on where my damage is at that point in time, right, you either go all out within that turn 8 of yours, or you go or you pace yourself out depending on how much damage that you have. So yeah, that would be my advice also. Brain says Leon is the king of CVGS. He's our champion, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Leon is our champion. So
King. Well, I am the team leader, so I guess. That's all I guess. King is a little far-fetched because I am aware that there are players that can play equally as good as I am. Easily people like Ben especially. Ben has been more successful in the competitive scene more than I do.
Yep.
It's just that he doesn't have the time to show up for the most part. So it's just that it's very unfortunate for me every time I go to the tournament I get luck to death.
Same with me. Like we do well when we play with each other and we get wins here and there. But whenever we go into tournament, our decks all choke. All our decks just choke.
My entire 10 years of career in Vanguard have never gotten me to the top. It's not because I didn't want to. It's just I get eliminated very early in the game because somebody would just double crit me. I'm just like, okay, bye.
Legit.
Or I miss great or everything, all that kind of stuff. It just happens. I just come like, it's fine.
legit, yeah. It's a grade 2. It says, let's see, because I'm trying to check for anything that says anything about an overtrigger. 2 more units at rest. Nope. You may have this unit not stand during your stand phase. What? If this unit is in rest, choose one of units gets plus 10k. Well, actually, that was not bad. Oh, I think this might be it here. So, when this unit is placed as the first call during that turn, this unit gets plus 5k power at the end of the turn. When you would look through your deck, you can only look at the top card. That's not it. When you would look through your deck, you can only look at the top card of your deck. When you search your deck or you look at the top 2 cards of your deck, you may look at 1 card at the top. Other effects are unaffected. What? Wait, what? What is that? Sounds debilitating. No, that's not the overtrigger. But that is weird. That is a weird skill. When you would look through your deck, you can only look at the top card of your deck. So when you have skills say search your deck for this unit, right? Or you have look at the top 2 cards of your deck, right? You can only look at the 1 card from the top of your deck.
Right.
Sit on that. Kogara Sumo. Okay, I will find it.
Why is that Tokyo Rumble Great Trick was the first game like Overdress UU and Astropho? Because reasons. Because money.
I cross-dress you in our store. Lol. Okay, Kogarasumuru. Okay. See if I can find it. So, because I think it was a card that wasn't released as part of Cards of the Days. Let's go through the wiki instead. Kogarasumaru. Oh, it's this one. Okay. Continuous front row Vanguard circle. When your over trigger will be removed by trigger effect, you may put it to your hand instead. Okay. Because your trigger your over trigger is a trigger order, so a card like this is actually quite vital to make sure that you're able to use the card for its order skill. So having this, right, I think this one, a lot of people will actually be including this card into their decks. for its continuous skill, because when you check your over trigger, you want to have it in your hand so they can use the order card. This is just a way to guarantee they can use the order card and not have it lost to the over trigger, not have the skill lost to the over trigger. So this is a way to guarantee that you get the benefits from both sides. What did you share to me here?
Oh, you love it. This is from the official page.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at it first. So yeah, do you see unit that interacts over trigger? Yeah. So yeah, I've seen this before. I read it before. I'm not 100% impressed because I think a lot of people might forego this for a more offensive build. But if you absolutely want to make sure that you have your over trigger so that you can activate its full abilities, because the trigger order is actually quite strong. 5 of your units get plus 10k, and then if you have 5 or more damage, they get plus 1 critical. So, or maybe it's the other way around. But yeah, this is actually really good. So, it feels very conditional. Why is it a continuous skill and not an auto skill? There is no way that the auto skill can actually activate, because it doesn't say when you check an over trigger. It says when your over trigger would be removed from hand. So, they want to make sure that nothing can kind of block it to a certain extent. So yeah, I think that's why it's a continuous skill and not an auto skill.
Always keeping it on.
No, not another token rumble unit that has caused me too much pain. So this has been magical. I'm glad that you are enjoying this, Lucas. So we are happy to have you here.
Yep.
Yeah. So beyond that,
we need more people on this stream. Then we can talk more trash. We can trash talk some more.
Yes, we can trash talk some more.
So get your friends, get your neighbors during this COVID period.
Yep.
To all sit down and watch us live stream and talk nonsense.
Yep. And don't forget.
Persona, right? Restanding skill makes more sense in Overdress. That means you're not just restanding because your mom says you
can. just because you can restand. No, the thing that you said yesterday.
Oh yeah. Things will get randomly reset just because your mom said so. That means
things. Yeah.
Surprisingly, that got a bit more attention than I expected.
No, yes, it's hilarious. It literally is very hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that hilarious. It's really a zinger of a line because holy shit, nobody ever thought of the idea of Overlord only restarts just because your mom says so, and you are the mom.
Basically, yes. Edit all 3 next to Mori.
So put all 3 of us like in the panel with Mori-san. I swear to God, if I swear to God, I would literally die. I would completely die and just call it a life if producer Mori actually does an interview with us, or if he's actually part of this discussion stream as a Q&A.
If he's not doing it with different fight, then I don't see a hope among ourselves.
He did it with TCG player. Because he and his PR site actually did an interview for TCG player.
But that's how big TCG player is.
Yeah, so that's why I say that I would literally just die and call it a life if Mori-san said, sure, I will come on to your discussion stream.
This TCG player is like the Western version of a Card Kingdom. Essentially.
Essentially, one day this pandemic will be over and everybody will have their vaccine. Yes.
Hopefully just have to see how long it lasts.
Yeah, hopefully sooner than later. So, absolutely.
Okay, just another quick question. Does anybody want to see this janky ass deck I built recently in action?
Which is that janky ass deck?
Hang on. Taking out the parts. I still haven't gone back to the office to take parts to do the modification or the necessary modding. So yeah. Because right now there is in a very weird place. It's too heavy. So yeah.
Sai, different fight got Eula for Genshin Impact. Sai.
My sister got hers this afternoon.
I'm still getting resources, so I haven't done the pull yet. Too bad I have no friends that play Vanguard with me, so
that's why there is online. There's remote play now.
Yep. Yep. Thankfully, we live in a day and age whereby remote play is a thing. So as long as you have a webcam or maybe even your phone as well, and you get on Discord and show your field, you can definitely find somebody to play Vanguard with. So even us, like if you join our Discord, if you really want to have a game with us, so me and Leon, we are always battle ready. We're always battle
No,
ready.
I'm not always battle ready. You are.
Okay.
Also,
No, I said we're battle ready. I never said that we're always available, but when we are available, we're always battle ready. So just feel free to tag us on our Discord, and yeah, let us know if you want to play a game. We definitely will arrange the time if we can do that. Absolutely, we'll have a blast. So
I'm trying to arrange for another tournament for next weekend if it's possible for me if my schedule don't run in. The price will be a rubber playmat. Yep. So you guys hear it? The upcoming tournament will have a rubber playmat. So stay tuned to our socials and we just might post we're gonna post something up soon. About it.
Same time also, do look forward to other stuff here on CVGS. In fact, as mentioned before in our Tuesday's live stream or maybe even videos before, I did mention that I did plan to do a editing live stream and that will be happening this Friday. So Friday it will be happening from my late afternoon, so about 6 p.m. around there. It will be an editing live stream, behind the scenes editing live stream for the next card fight. So if you guys are very curious as to see how we do the card fights, like the one that came out earlier between Office and Bastion, I hope you guys enjoyed that fight. If you want to see just the process of how we actually do it, so do tune into that Friday. And that Friday might be the only time you actually will get to see it. So because maybe because of the copyright claims and how YouTube works, we might not be able to keep that video or that live stream up. So yeah, just make sure you stay tuned to our socials, ring that bell so they can get notified of when all of our videos come out, whether it be a live stream, whether it be a fight video, whether it be a skits video, anything. And yeah, that's just it for me. Rin, I have it worse. I don't have sleeves for my overdress stuff. I wanted you and Tomari sleeve, but they're sold out. So haha, I am shy. So no worries, Rin. If you do desire to play, there's a lot. If it's not just us, there's a lot of other people that can absolutely do it with us. So don't be afraid. We don't bite. AK says the champ can't always be ready. Yes, the champ has to be prepared. I had to book him a weekend in advance in order to get his championship match in the way.
Yeah, and whoever gets it by the way dies first.
Yeah. So Rin Rin and everybody else, if you guys want to join our Discord, you can find the links in the description box below. You can absolutely 100% follow us on all of our socials. We're on Facebook, on Twitter, we're on Instagram as well. And yeah, follow us on Twitch as well. For those of you that are not on Twitch, you can actually find us over on Twitch where we have some gaming live streams. In fact, I am going to be streaming more on Twitch this week as well. So do look forward to tomorrow. Because oh wait, no, maybe not tomorrow, because tomorrow I have to do the recap. But yeah, you maybe tomorrow night I will do a stream. So just give us a follow over on Twitch. You guys will be able to find us over there. Stuff is still wrapped in bubble wrap, unopened because I have no sleeves. Hopefully you get your sleeves very soon, Andrew. Even if it's something temporary. So I rather that you sleeve your overdress stuff with something for now, and then when your sleeves come in later, you'll be able to swap them over. So it may be double work, but you definitely be able to experience overdress, because I would not recommend you missing out just because you don't have the proper protection.
Right. Wow.
Get some basic protection, and after that you can premium your protection later.
If somehow by July you still couldn't get your sleeves, you probably by then you can order through me for on my online shop.
Yes, over on Discord as well, we actually have a pre-orders page. So if you want to get some products for Overdress, whether it be the upcoming BT or in English or in Japanese as well, you can actually talk to Leon over at the pre-orders page. You can look him up, and then later he'll do what he can to actually get you the stuff that you're looking for. So just look him up over there.
That is correct.
Rain says, sorry, I can't relate because I've been collecting Vanguard for 10 years and I've hogged a lot of sleeves, so it's not a problem for me. Most of us
we have a lot of
sleeves also. I used to be a sleeve collector. I used to collect a lot of sleeves and then never use them because I didn't want to. In fact, there's two over here that I never want to use. And there's a particular reason why. Leon should know. Milady sleeves. It is Milady sleeves, the arcade sleeves. So. Never use them. I bought these in Japan 3 years ago. I've never used them and I never want to use them. So I'll just probably keep them rolled up in there for like eternity. Probably so. Okay.
So just reading out the last few comments before we sign off.
Yep. Absolutely.
Let's see now. Mate says that just like Red in the Mountain. Technically I am.
He is
at this point. I might as well be Red at this point.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't read. Okay, then if you're on Discord looking, and then Welcome back. Welcome back. But we're actually ending off soon.
Yep.
But Mate is like, Leon, I might want to show you my version of Drag New Premium. But by all, feel free to do so. You can do it in premium chat. In our premium chat. In our Discord server, we can talk then more about in depth into how we're gonna build this nonsensical deck.
Yep. The Vanguard deck building station is the place that can do that. So yeah, absolutely tag us if you want us to see certain things. Like feel free to.
Yep. And then so Vimiru is I'm gonna get my Valkyrion deck on Saturday. Oh, you're actually getting Valkyrion? That sounds sick. That sounds good.
Vanguard Festly's possibilities. It's possible if you import, but
yeah, but I don't have that yet because my shop is still setting up. I'm only moving in there in June, so that's kind of like the soft opening for my shop, my card shop, trying games. That's just a soft opening, and I still have to do a lot of prep work. Especially now with the pandemic happening, there's a lot of things to handle.
Yep.
That's why the tournament. I have not been able to do it consistently for 2 weeks because I had to do all this handling. And just next week, just letting you guys know, I might not be here for the online streams because I will be going back to my national service for about 3 weeks. Basically, I'm going back to be to serve my country for 3 weeks. So and because I am a police officer, my shift hours is 12-hour shift, so I won't be able to hear. For the most part, just letting you guys know.
Yep.
So yeah, my shop will be located at Marsiling Mall if you're in Singapore. Marsiling Mall, which is in between Woodlands MRT station as well as
Marsiling MRT station.
Yeah, and Marsiling MRT station. But I'll put it up soon.
Yeah, information will come out as soon as they are readily available. So yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I see. Sorry. Hope the pandemic will get better in your country and you can get your sleeves. Hopefully we all can. Hopefully the pandemic will be a thing of the past soon. It will come, but hopefully the sooner the better. Of course. Uranus is pretty much complete. Doesn't have the Uranus that that brings Astro Play with 3 gifts, but it's okay. Slowly but surely, remember. Slowly but surely. So,
yep.
Yeah. Ege says, if need my help, let me know for streams as always. Sure, I'll reach out to you. So, because I am also talking to other Vanguard YouTubers as well. So I might have somebody else lined up. And of course, Ege, if you're there as well, then, it can be an introduction session in a way. So, absolutely. So, because I do plan to have one big stream with as many Vanguard YouTubers as possibly can, different fight included, of course, because that's just the goal that I set for myself for 2021, and I think that it's high time that not just us but also a lot of Vanguard YouTubers actually just come together and just start collabing with each other. So
yeah. Like VTubers, except Vanguard YouTubers.
Yeah. So why should we be any different? So
Yes.
we should get out there and just. We're all one big community. Let the content creators actually showcase that.
Why let Japanese and English community be a barrier?
Indeed.
So Rin says at north side where a lot of card shops are. Actually, not really. There isn't a lot of card shops.
Actually, not a lot of cards in the north side. So no, not a lot.
The most prominent one is actually more in town and more in the industrial area.
Correct.
There is some here up in the north, but not that much. But I think mine would be one of the more easily accessible because it's right in between the stations.
Yep.
So yeah.
Card tubers. Well, somebody pundit on the Twitch, the Van Gang. Because Different Fight has the face gang, I think so. But yeah lah, if you have a collective front, then yeah, Van Gang. You miss it, man. He's the next Shisho you. Okay, I share my current Hunter's fashion in Discord. Okay, I will be there to judge you, Andrew. Right, so that's all the time that we have from us. Thank you guys, everybody, so much for joining us throughout this 2 hours, 10 minutes live stream, actually. So yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Is that the short version? Yeah, that's the short version. Yeah, so again, follow us on all of our socials. We're on Facebook, on Twitter, we're on Instagram. Do look forward to all of the things that we're doing here on CVGS, from recap video tomorrow that's coming out, to even that live stream, that editing live stream that I'm going to be doing as well. If you're looking for products and stuff, do be sure to look out for Leon, because we are setting that up in the background. That's why Leon is not here. Dempsey is also handling his own things behind the scenes as well, so that's why he's also not here as well. At the same time, also, yeah, just look forward to all of our content here on CVGS on YouTube and also on Twitch as well. So Thank you guys for all joining us. Leon, do you have any thing else to add at the end?
Nope. But that'll be it. But yes, you all okay. Maybe there's one thing I can say. Please, at this point of time, guys, seriously, not kidding. Please take care of yourself. There's a new strain of COVID that's currently going around. Take care of yourself. We'll make sure you clean up and stay safe during this time. In these troubled times, right?
Yes, take care of yourself. Take care of each other, and also be nice as well. I have to add it on. Be nice, please. Not just to everybody around you, but especially to the people that are bringing you the joys that you enjoy right now. So don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Yes, I wouldn't go as far as that, but definitely in this troubled time, just be nice to people. Everyone's going through a hard time, so don't give each other a hard time as well.
Yes.
All right, and remember to wash and wash.
Yes, remember to wash your wash as well. So take care of yourselves, take care of everybody else as well. So, and with that said, thank you guys again for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Bye bye.